Don't do it. See your full name.
First name Samuel, last name McCray.
All right, stand by for a second, please. All right, so you have several traffic matters which need to be addressed first. These are tickets where you previously failed to appear in court. At that time, the judge set cash bonds. The judge has now allowed these to be made personal bonds with the understanding that you must return to court by Zoom on these tickets. These are misdemeanors with a penalty of 93 days and or $500 fine. You have a pretrial date of June 8th, 2023, 9:00 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge Wagner. When you appear in court, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you at public expense. You understand your rights, sir?
Yes.
Okay, this is ticket SP 1070217 from February 28, 2020. Samuel Anthony McCray, charged with count 1, driving unregistered or untitled vehicle, count 2, driving while license not valid, count 3, no insurance misdemeanor, SP 1070223, February 28, 2020, improper plates, SP 1071062, February 29, 2020, improper plates, SP 1072336, May, strike that, March 5th, 2020, improper plates, SP 1113359, September 11, 2020, driving while license suspended. SP 1130661, November 5, 2020, count 1, driving while license not valid. Count 2, driving unregistered or untitled vehicle. Count 3, reckless driving. SP 1130662, November 5th, 2020, no insurance misdemeanor. SP 1133337, November 10th, 2020, count 1, failed to display valid operator's license. Count 2, driving unregistered or untitled vehicle. SP 1133338, November 10, 2020, no proof of insurance, no plate. Strike that, the no proof of insurance is a civil infraction. Just count 2, no plates on trailer. SP 1251724, September 21, 2021. Count 1, no insurance misdemeanor. Count 2, driving unregistered or untitled vehicle. Count 3, improper plates. SP 1342333, April 19, 2022. Count 2, driving while license suspended, repeat offender. SP 1367167, July 5, 2022. Count 1, driving while license suspended, repeat offender. Count 2, open alcohol in a motor vehicle driver. Count 3, no insurance misdemeanor. SP 1373904, July 27, 2022. Driving while license suspended, no insurance misdemeanor, open alcohol in a motor vehicle driver. SP 975039, March 6, 2019, driving while license suspended. SX 3615192, September 28, 2019, no operator's license on person, license plate unlawful use. 197036813, November 15, 2019, driving while license not valid. 197036832, November 15, 2019, improper plates. Count 3 of that same ticket is driving unregistered or untitled vehicle. 194586822, December 25th, 2019, driving unregistered or untitled vehicle. Count one of that ticket is driving while license suspended. 207-201512. This is from 2020, November 13th, 2020, no insurance misdemeanor. Count one of that same ticket is driving while license not valid. U47334618 from May 22, 2018. Violation of City Marijuana Code 184443772, March 22nd, 2018. No operator's license on person. All right, sir. Again, your pretrial and review dates on those tickets are June 8th, 2023, 9:00 a.m., 36th District Court in front of Judge Wagner. State your name again for the record, sir.
Samuel McCray.
All right, this is case number 230568110, People of the State of Michigan versus Samuel Anthony McCray. Appearances, please.
Thanks, Judge. Good morning. Steve Benson on behalf of the people.
Justice Jackson on behalf of Mr. McCray, who is reading of his constitutional rights.
All right, court's going to enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. Anything as to bond from the people?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an incident that took place on May 6th of this year. We're dealing with 8 counts. A count for homicide, murder, first degree, premeditated, assault with intent to murder, another assault with intent to murder, weapons, firearms, possession by a felon, and 4 counts of weapons, felony, firearm. The people would like to note for this court that the defendant is currently on probation for a weapons, firearm possession by a felon, which started January 27th of 2022, and which wouldn't be terminated until 2024. Your Honor, in this matter, there was extensive interviewing by the police of multiple parties involved in this matter, as well as family members related to the defendant, including others with relationships to those family members. There was also green light surveillance that captured the entire incident. Based on the green light surveillance video coverage of this incident, which again took place May 6th, the people would state as follows. A white Ford Expedition with unknown plates enters the parking lot of what comes to find out is the Mobil gas station on McNichols near the lodge and parks at a pump. A black male wearing a navy hoodie, jean shorts, and a black hat exits the rear driver's side door, which come to find out, Your Honor, that male was later ID'd by multiple parties, including the defendant himself, as defendant Samuel McCray. The defendant enters the gas station and subsequently grabs several items. The defendant then goes to the register to pay. At that time, Your Honor, the defendant's credit card, which was a Cash App card, is declined, and he becomes upset. Therein, the defendant argues with the clerk and attempts to leave the gas station. The clerk continues to argue, apparently antagonizing the defendant. Therein, the clerk electronically locks the door from behind the counter. As based by the clerk, he thought that the defendant was going to leave with the items that he brought to the cash register. The defendant then becomes increasingly angry. The clerk refuses to unlock the door multiple times. At that time, Your Honor, there were 3 customers in the gas station who start becoming upset, telling the clerk to unlock the door. And they do this multiple times. A male, Your Honor, wearing a white jacket and white pants, later identified as the defendant's mother's boyfriend, then exits the front passenger seat from the Expedition outside of the gas station, parked by the gas pump, and approaches the front door of the gas station. He attempts to open the door, but the door is locked. He looks inside into the gas station at what's happening. He then goes back to the expedition and gets into the front passenger seat. One of the males and a customer in a green and white striped shirt begin arguing. The male says he will put one in the head to the other male in the green and white shirt. The male I speak to is the defendant. The other male in the green and white striped shirt is later identified as the deceased, Gregory Carlo Samuel Kelly. Subsequently, Your Honor, the defendant then pulls out a gun and shoots the deceased. The male then shoots another customer that's located in the gas station and subsequently shoots a third person in the gas station. The clerk therein, based on the video footage, unlocks the door from behind the counter. The defendant exits the gas station, walks to the expedition, gets in the rear driver's side door, and the expedition drives out of the parking lot. Your Honor, from there, what the police uncovered was the driver of that vehicle was the defendant's mother. And as previously stated, the passenger in the front seat was the mother's boyfriend. Defendant now is in the back seat. From there, the defendant got into the vehicle. The mother ended up driving back to her house. The mother then allegedly called her daughter to pick up the defendant. The daughter picked up the defendant, who's the defendant's brother, took her back to her house, where the defendant slept that night. Now, after returning, Your Honor, allegedly from the sister dropping off someone, the defendant was no longer at the sister's house. Thereafter, and admittedly by the defendant, he walked around the area for a while, went to a motel located nearby, and had sex with an unnamed female. Following that encounter, and through investigation of the police, they ended up discovering defendant's telephone number previously, which they began sending ping communications to through defendant's cellular provider. Ultimately, Judge, one day after the shootings committed by the defendant, the police were able to locate him as a passenger of a vehicle located approximately a street or two from the defendant's sister's home. And he was there and arrested. Now, Your Honor, we have one individual in this matter who's deceased. Two sustained multiple gunshot wounds. We also have, Your Honor, an interview that was performed by the police of the defendant after receiving his Miranda rights. In that interview, the defendant ended up admitting to the following. Defendant admitted to not calling the police before or after the shooting, or in the hours and days following the shooting. Defendant admitted to changing his clothes following the shooting because he didn't want to be recognized. Defendant further admitted to disposing of the gun he used and planning to get rid of his own phone that ultimately was the one that was pinged that the police ended up capturing him with. The defendant also admitted to knowing the police were searching for him because he was the suspect in the shooting. Now, Your Honor, based on all the facts, based on the investigative report, based on all of the interviews, based on the admittances of the defendant, it's clear this defendant is a danger, not only to the people that were involved, that are still living involved in this situation, but to anyone. For that reason, the people will be asking for a $10 million cash bond. If the defendant were somehow to post that bond or in some type of redetermination, the bond would be lowered. The people would be asking for a GPS tether and home arrest.
Thank you. Counsel?
Your Honor, Mr. McCray, as always, is innocent unless proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. These are all allegations against Mr. McCray. Yes, there are very serious allegations, Your Honor, and we understand that. However, the report tells us what's in the video, but we have not seen the video. We know what the report says. The court hasn't seen it, we haven't seen it, I don't believe the people have seen it. So we don't know what the video will show. Also, Your Honor, Mr. McRae is an individual who suffers from mental illness, severe mental illness. He is paranoid, he is schizophrenic, and what appears to be him, allegedly going to the gas station, allegedly with his mother's boyfriend, Your Honor, ends up being where a clerk locks him in against the will in a gas station. He can't get out. And other customers, as the people said, were upset as well. Everybody in there doesn't understand why they're locked in. They don't want to be locked in somewhere against their will. I don't think any of us would want to be locked in somewhere that we went to purchase something and now we're locked in and can't get out, Your Honor. And so I think that there's a lot going on here. The clerk admitted that he locked them in, and I am respectfully asking the court to consider the GPS tether, the house arrest, and a 10% bond to a high cash bond with a 10% at least, Your Honor. I know that, again, there are very strong allegations in front of you. However, he is still presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, Your Honor. I don't believe he's at flight risk. He's a lifelong resident. He lives with family, and he is doing everything what he's supposed to be doing for probation, Your Honor. And he does suffer from mental illness. So I am respectfully asking the court to consider GPS tether, house arrest, and a 10%.
Okay. All right. Court has reviewed the investigator's report, has also heard a representation from the people and from defense counsel. Sir, these are extremely serious assaultive allegations. One of which carries is a life offense. It's homicide, murder, first degree, premeditated. There are 2 assault with intent to murder charges here. Having reviewed the investigator's report, it appears that there was green light surveillance capturing most of these incidences. There's also testimony, well, not testimony actually, but an interview with the defendant in which there are admissions and confessions made. The court does find that you are a serious threat to the community, and as such, the court is not considering the bonds that were suggested. Sir, you are not to have any contact with David Langston, Anthony Bowden, or Al Hassan Ayash. No physical or verbal contact, no contact by way of text or social media, no contact with their places of employment or residence, and no contact through third parties. Based on all of the information provided, the investigator's report, the information from people, the information from counsel, court is going to remand you to the custody of the Wayne County Jail, sir. No bond, you are remanded. You have a probable cause date of May 23rd, 8:30 a.m., preliminary exam date of May 30th, 1:45 p.m., both at 36th District Court in front of Judge King. Those are not good dates? Okay, all right, those are your court dates, May 23rd, 8:30, May 30th, 1:45. The May 23rd date will be by Zoom. The May 30th date is in person, 36th District Court in front of Judge King. All right, sir, you may step away from the camera. DDC, mark his file medical, please.